I'm Drew Willard, an ordained minister with the United Church of Christ and an artist and biblical storyteller. This is my contribution on January 20th, Inauguration Day, as an affirmation that we are heading in the right direction in hopes of making this a better world as well as a better American society. And what I'd like to share with you is an image that I drew about 20 years ago, 1999. There was a contest for portraying Jesus in the 21st century. And whether that was representative art or symbolic, it was a challenge for artists to exercise their imagination. And Sister Wendy of PBS TV fame as an art historian was one of the judges. So I was excited about participating. Well, I was in a cafe in Mystic, Connecticut, working on an idea. I was drawing on a napkin. And initially, I was envisioning Jesus crucified on the world. But there was all this talk about the Y2K bugs and the apocalypse and the end of the world, and I just needed to see Jesus dancing. So this is what I came up with. So there he is, like Zorba the Greek, or like the bridegroom at an Eastern Orthodox wedding reception, and he's holding the napkin for the next person in line in a line dance, celebrating that wedding. And also like Zorba the Greek. And so there are a number of inspirations for this character and the image. Also reminiscent of the Lord of the Dance folk song, "It's hard to dance with the world on your back." And Jesus makes it look easy. So I needed to see him joyful, fearless, and defiant for the sake of justice and peace. Among the inspirations for this image, I also wanted to include this idea of him being like one of the early icons. And in this case, the icon from St. Catherine's Monastery in Mount Sinai, in which Jesus is portrayed in the Christos Pantocrator format for iconography. And he's doing the sign of blessing, he's holding the Gospels, and his halo has a cross image symbolized there. The style is very unique to time before the iconoclasts were destroying icons. And so this was painted over and wasn't discovered from the time that it was originally created. They believe to be about the 4th to the 6th century. And then it was in the 7th century that the iconoclasts in the Christian church were trying to destroy these images. And so what happened then was Jesus' image here was painted over and not discovered until the 1960s, and emerged like a fossil, like the Tyrannosaurus Rex of icons. And so we have here this beautiful image. Another inspiration was Honoré Lermite's Friend of the Poor, also depicting the Supper at Emmaus. And you may notice that image is reminiscent of Solomon's Head of Christ, a very popular image in our time of Jesus. I believe there was some inspiration there. But as you can see, this is a very dramatic image, almost photographic in its realism. And finally, Frederick Franck, who combined Buddhist and Christian mysticism in his art, portraying the essential human, usually in imagery of the human face. And here's an example. It's actually a reverse image, but it captures the notion of remembering that Jesus was not the blonde, the blue-eyed character, more than likely that he was a person of color. And so that's why I've selected this image with its simplicity and with its reminder to challenge us to think of Jesus as someone who can be found in others besides our own self-perception. And that brings us back to believing that Jesus is still dancing and calling us to join him, calling us into that joyful and fearless and defiant dance for the sake of justice and peace. I hope you'll enjoy this image.